right, so we're just going to get right into it. So maybe you can kick us off quickly by giving us an insight into your background and experience in the mining industry and how it shaped you for your role as president and CEO of West Red Lake.
I'm an engineer by training. I've been involved in the mining industry for 25 years now. And importantly, I've always been on the side of the developer, the owner of the project. There's a big distinction between worked with consultants and engineers and worked on parts of a project or worked on the owner where you're accountable for the full A to Z of building the project. So that's been my experience. Prior to West Red Lake, I was with a company called Skeena Resources, who many of your viewers will be aware of, where I was the COO and built that project really from a very small company all the way up. And with that, before that, I was with a company called Eldorado Gold. And with Eldorado, I spent a lot of years in Turkey, Greece, building mines, operating mines. So I have a good background in operations, running mines. I was a GM, Senior VP of Operations, and building mines. I built a lot of their mines. So it gives me a good background of the challenges required and to build an operation, which will be Madsen, but also build a long-term company over time.
Amazing, Shane. Question for you then, as it relates to West Red Lake Gold, as an investor, of which Stockers is, and we hope to come up and visit during one of the filmings of our show. And as I've told you before, I've actually been to the property. And we're in North Toronto, so it's about a 17-hour drive, but it's very worth going. I found the property incredible back in the days when it was pure gold. Can you just give our viewers an overview of what we would see if we went there and therefore what stage you're at this point?
Really, it's a real unique opportunity. As I said, for me in particular, I've spent 20 years of my career building mines. And as you will know, and your viewers will know, building mines today takes a long time. It takes over 10 years to build a mine from early through to operations. By the time you do engineering studies, drilling, resources, you do engineering studies, you do construction, you have to get permitting. So there's a lot of stages. And so the unique opportunity about Madsen is it's all being built, really. It was in commercial production. It has its permits. It was gone through permitting, and it had a lot of infrastructure put in place. It has a mill, tailings dams, everything that are usually a challenge to build mines. So there's been over $350 million of infrastructure put into the project, and it's fully operational with its permits. So it's very unlikely in today's industry that you get a permit ready to go. It's like buying a car ready to go. It is ready to go effectively from an operations point of view.
And so a follow-up question to that would be the mill. I suppose you've had to do some work to get it back into a position because it was shut down for a year or so?
Yeah, it operated for like a year or so, and then it was shut down. But the good thing about it was when it was shut down, it was kept care and maintenance. There was always a plan at some stage to restart it. So it was kept in very good condition. Normally in that situation, the pumps were kept turning, the mills were kept turning. Everything was done to care and maintenance. So it's actually in very, very good condition, ready to go effectively. Yeah.
And so when you say ready to go, when do you think will be the idea? Like from an investor's point of view, it obviously will have a huge effect on the stock, we hope, but what do you see as timing, roughly speaking?
When we went into some of the challenges around the previous operator, there was a couple of key areas we saw. The ore bodies in Red Lake, you're probably familiar with some of your viewers, they're deep, very high grade. They need a lot of drilling. They're very vein kind of type structures, so they need a lot of drilling. And this was the one area we identified where more work is needed, and they drilled a lot from surface. They didn't have the underground development done. So while the surface facilities are perfect, ready to go, there is a bit of work to do underground. We have some drilling to do. We have some development to do. And we have some really exciting exploration that they knew about, but never really got the opportunity to go to. So, from that perspective, our plan is to kind of take our time and do the drilling, do the work to de-risk the project before we start up. So at the moment, we're going doing some studies to really understand it, but I would say middle of 2025, middle to the end of 25 is a good target for us at this stage of when we want to start the project back up.
So just circling back, I guess another question we have is from an investor's perspective, what would you say is the potential of Madsen, Rowan, and other critical projects at the stage that they're at currently?
It is, a lot of your viewers are aware of the sort of Lassonde curve where, the de-risking phase is not as exciting as the early exploration phase. But one of the unique opportunities we have is we're doing the de-risking, but in parallel, there's a lot of exciting areas to drill and get exploration upside. So we're kind of layering over the de-risking phase with a growth story. And so that's where I think it gets very exciting. There were some really good targets in deep down in the mine called the 8 zone that people might be familiar with. It has some very, and we believe that this could be equal to the high-grade zone at the original Red Lake mine, which your viewers might know that built Gold Corp. It went to a very, very high grade and it created a lot of value in Red Lake for Gold Corp. And so we believe that we have a similar sort of structure deep down in the mine. Pure Gold did drill it from surface and, got some very exciting hits, but it's very deep. Now that we're underground and doing the development, we actually are the first company to actually drill it from underground. So that's quite exciting in the back half of this year. And our results to date have had some exciting new areas we're looking at. So this year will be about the growth story, building on the de-risking. And as we get closer to production, that will give a lift and upside. Remember, this was $1 billion company in production. And today our market cap is around 100 million, 150 million Canadian. So that 10x straight away just on this project as we move forward within a short period of time. And I would say there's very few, Kevin, projects today that need as little capex as we have to get into production to produce them sort of ounces. So as a risk reward perspective, it's a good reward for investors with little risk really.
So it's really interesting and brings me to a topic I think I know the answer, but I'd like to ask you, and that is, how is the company set for having enough capital to do the drilling over the next several months?
One of the advantages was when we bought the asset is there was debt on the books, and all the debt was converted into equity. So we've debt on our balance sheet at the moment, which gives us the opportunity to go and have some time. Our plan will be over the next 6 to 8 months to raise some more financing to support that. Last year, I don't know if some of your viewers actually saw that, but we actually were the TSXV. We were one of the best companies on the TSXV. We got a great award, and partly because of that, of the background, the team, the backers, we have the ability to attract a lot of capital. The markets, as you well aware of, are pretty poor at the moment for gold mining stocks. But last year, we raised over $50 million of equity, raising it to buffer that balance sheet. So we have quite a bit of money now on our balance sheet. Later this year, we will need to raise some more money to move that forward into production. But it's not a short-term thing. We have money on our balance sheet.
Right. And so the other thing, if you could tell our viewers about, is the Rowan property and how it would relate to where Madsen is, et cetera, the concept of that.
Yeah, look, we're the only developer at this stage in Red Lake that have access to a mill, fully functional operational mill. Evolution is there and they own the original Red Lake mine. And now with Kinross coming in and buying the Great Bear project, we're the only developer in that region. So that gives a unique opportunity that, we can create this hub and spoke model around Red Lake, which is quite common in other parts of Canada and other parts of the world, but being done effectively in Red Lake. So we have the mill in place, and Rowan will be a feeder to that hub and spoke model where it's very high grade. It has good ounces in the ground, and that material can be mined. We don't need to put a mill in infrastructure, and we can bring that material to the Madsen mine. So it creates an upside potential as we move forward on the project.
Wow. And so how far away would it be geographically?
So as the crow flies, it's about 20 kilometers, but there's a road all the way access to it, 80 kilometers at the moment to there. But remember, this is our actual Rowan grade and Madsen mine. So you can haul material that distance. It's over 9 gram material at the moment, which Madsen is 6 grams. So it gives you don't a lot of tons or a lot of ounces to do a sweeten to make the overall boost the grade of the project. And that's the big opportunity.
Wow, that's really exciting.
What would you say the company's approach to responsible mining practices and community engagement initiatives?
Yeah, so Red Lake, as you're well aware, is a long history of mining in the region. So there's two First Nations groups, the Laxul and the Wabascang. They're the two main First Nations groups, and we have a great relationship with those. They're very supportive of, obviously, with Madsen and the failure of the project. They were a bit disappointed on that. We've come now to take that over. So we've reinvigorated those discussions. They're part of those discussions. The town of Red Lake, the mayor, we meet regularly. The Minister of Ontario Mining has been to the site. So there's a lot of ongoing engagement going around building that collaborative relationship with the First Nations as we move forward, even to the effect of the two groups have put together a development corporation called Shared Spirits, and that's something that's getting involved in the project, providing services to the mine. So we see that as a partnership as we build out that going forward.
That's great. How about how do you get along with the people that live in the town? Because when I was there, I did notice that the houses are right there.
It's basically over history. Originally there was 7 or 8 different mines in the region, and actually they all had their own little towns around them with schools and shops and everything. They were all independent. So the town is right there over the mines, all the mines. And actually it's a good thing really, growing up with mining. That has been built on mining. They were mining towns originally. They were built by the mines, operated by the mines. So, and a majority of the people work in the mines. And so from a perspective, getting workers who live locally, who support locally, a lot of mines, as you know, have fly in, fly out. People come in for a couple of weeks and fly back out. Doesn't really help the communities. And so with a town living there and people are spending in the community and growing that community, and the other mines around with Evolution and now Kinross, there's great support for mining in that region, which is a benefit for us. Will help us through getting the restart and getting people.
Well, we hope to be able to come up and do some filming up there in the summer. As with the show, we're trying to illustrate to younger people and investors who may not realize what these communities are like and the importance of what's going on. And we know your project would fit right in there very well.
I know it's a great, because we're taking our time and doing it in stages. What I'd really like to do is, bring young people. Obviously, we have an issue with getting younger people into the mining industry. It has a bit of a bad reputation. And the more we can bring people under the covers and see the processes of mining and how good it is working with the communities and developing, that's something we're very open to and we want to be part of, for sure.
Well, I guess I think that takes care of all of our questions for today. And we really appreciate you sharing your insights and visions for West Red Lake. And we hope to talk to you again soon.
So thanks very much for being shareholders, and hopefully you're coming along for the journey.
Well, yeah, and we'll be up to see the place too. So we'll let you know when that's going to occur. So thanks very much, Shane. Have a great day.
Calling all savvy investors in mining and resources. Seeking the inside track on West Red Lake gold mines? Look no further than minestalkers.com. Our cutting-edge voice search tool is not only designed to reveal hidden gems, but also provides real-time stock updates. Visit for the insights and stay for the gains. Seize the opportunity and explore the magic at minestalkers.com. Uncover new investment possibilities today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's get the word out there.